because we want to heat up the engine, so that we go with a heated engine, so that the test be objective, because the cold engine would take more fuel. So we will picture or capture to video the indicators of rotation and speed, so that we can see that at which rotation the engine is working when we drive on the highway. And we also will capture the indication of the board computer, so that we can see the instant consumption and the average consumption for the distance we will drive to. So we are doing today only the testing on the highway and not in the urban area, because we think that the highway testing is more important. If an engine takes too much on a highway, then it will take too much in an urban area as well. So we don't do the urban test at this time, because the urban test very much depends on the traffic conditions and the traffic jams in the city and other stuff. So it's less objective and less important to measure. We will measure at the highway consumption at an average speed. We think we are two in the car, so 2 persons for a 5-seat car should be less than average, and should be very normal weight load from point of view of consumption. We don't have anything in the boot. We will show you that there is nothing specially loaded in the boot which would make the car more heavy, so that it consumes more. So, and we will show you also the tires, because we don't run with flat tires or something. The tire pressure is normal within the limits, and this means that this won't cause any higher consumption at all. So we will start the real test and measurement when the engine is heated up and when we reach a normal traveling speed on the highway, and we will measure the consumption on the highway at this average traveling speed. We assume that this car, which has a top speed of 220 kilometers per hour, should go or should have a normal average traveling speed at about 130-140. So we will set up cruise control for about 130-135 kilometers per hour and see how the instant consumption, the average consumption goes. In this case, there will be not too many interest of seeing the rotation meter, but we will show you the speed meter, the rotation meter, and also the board computer, the general view of the board computer with the instant consumption on the lowest row, and the board computer 2 will be reset to 0 when we start measurement, and this board computer 2 will be the measuring device of the average consumption during the test. So we start going out to the highway now, having still heating up the engine. Sometimes it might be a problem to see the meters because of the turn of the steering wheel, but it should be okay. At any moment in time, it might be possible or should be possible to see the indicators. The distance we are aiming for is about 100 kilometers altogether, because we don't think that there is a need to drive 400 kilometers or more in order to learn the consumption of this car. Firstly, we have driven this car already, as the kilometer indicator shows, for 6,800 kilometers, and we've been checking the consumption all the time, and the consumption was as indicated in our email to Opel Belgium or General Motors Belgium and Nicolas Kroijmans authorized dealership. So we expect the same results today, because we didn't change anything, we didn't lie, we were always frank and told the truth about the consumption. So I will be not too much talking on the highway during the driving. I talked in the beginning so that I set up the conditions for the test. We are two in the car, my son Richard and me, and we will both certify that the conditions were during the test as said in the beginning. So the car not overloaded, the engine heated up, the speed set to the certain value, and so on and so on. We can then use the video to certify the testing, and we will also certify that everything captured on the video is true. So we will set soon the normal speed for testing when we are out of the city. Sorry. Okay. We will set the board computer to 0 soon and set up the speed for testing. Unfortunately, there is certain traffic already. We wanted to do the testing a little bit earlier, but because of the weather conditions, it was so snowing in Belgium, we postponed it, because on a snowy road it would be less beneficial for General Motors to measure the consumption. So we are setting now about 130 or so the speed. You can see that the green light is illuminating. This means the cruise control is on. The speed is a little bit over 130, and now we go to board computer 2 and set all values to 0 and start at this speed and at these conditions. Very nice weather conditions, 3-4 degrees outside. The real testing we promised to do. So we go back to the main view. The instant consumption is about 10.9 currently. We will do about 100 kilometers, as I said. Unfortunately, there are some speed limits on the road, but we will try to keep the speed as agreed between 100. Monitor will be well visible in the end, because we will be finishing the test in a few hundred meters from now. We have a 100-kilometer speed limitation here, so we are slowing down. This is the end of the test. 93 kilometers, average speed 125 kilometers per hour, and average consumption 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers. End of test. Goodbye.